Hello, friends. So today's first day of Advent, and I love Advent. Even though I'm not a churchgoer, I do still celebrate all the Christian holidays because I am a Christian, even though I have my whole Druid side, which is a philosophy to me, religion to others. So first day of Advent is this preparation of um, of the light of Christ coming into the world, and it's awesome, right? And I mean, Advent, uh, literally in Latin means preparation, coming, the coming of, preparing for, um, and so typically Advent does really apply to Christians who are waiting for. Preparing for the birth of Christ or the memorial of the birth of Christ, but also for the second coming of Christ. Um, but I think that even if you're not Christian, you can still celebrate that just that light is coming, that we are the light, we are all connected. And I'm very drawn to the tree of life. So if you've been to my house, you'll see a lot of different things that are in my house, but you'll see the tree of life, which I'm wearing one right now. I alternate this necklace, this shorter necklace, with my AT necklace. I also have dream catchers, which is not my tradition, but just a reminder of the land that we live on that belong to other people, and a memorial to them and a thank you to them for the sacrifices their people made so that we could all live here. So the tree of life is important because the tree of life, the part that you see, just like a mushroom, the part that you see of a tree is sort of the fruit of the tree. But there's this whole network of trees in their roots underneath. And there's a mother tree who kind of like helps all the little new trees like spring up, and then we humans go and hack them all down. But we need wood. So I've talked about this before. If we could just teach people who deforest to not kill the mother trees, we'd be in a lot better situation because the new trees get taught by the mother tree. So mushrooms like are amazing because they actually work in the forest to make sure that the trees, because sometimes too many trees want to sprout up in one spot, and the trees can't, they'll all die if these new trees sprout up. So the mushrooms, they go and they like help break down the trees that there aren't room for, and then they help decay them, and then they help like they all work together. This whole network works together. They're way smarter than we think. And we kind of have proof in that in the whole artistry or composition of a pine cone, right? They get wet, they close, so to protect their seeds. Even 30 years after they're off a tree, they will still do that. So, the gift of light, whether you're Christian or not, we can all take a minute to celebrate light coming into the world. Whatever, source, if you believe in one source, the tree sources, how we're all connected. I believe we're all connected like trees are all connected. Whether you're Christian or Buddhist or Jewish or whatever you are, Wiccan, whatever, we're all connected, right? And our world gets better by sharing light. And when we think about gifts, we often think about these expensive things we buy, but the real gifts of the world are the gifts that cost nothing. And that's time, talent, and treasure. So what does that mean? What is time, talent, and treasure? As case in point, I got interrupted as usual because I sit at my kitchen table. So time is probably the greatest thing that you can give people, your time. And that can be a conversation. It doesn't have to be going to a concert or going to a play. I love the ballet. I love opera. I love theater. Um, None of my crew likes any of that stuff. I pretty much do most of my things by myself. I travel alone. I go to concerts alone, if they're a certain kind. We did get to go see a tribute band for Tusk, the best tribute band, really, that I've ever seen for Fleetwood Mac. They were excellent. If you have a chance to see them, you should see them. Some stuff I can get people to go to, but for the most part, I go alone. And there are sometimes I have friends who will go. If it's the Red Hot Chili Pipers, I have friends who like pipes, who aren't pipers, who will go to that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I go alone. And what a great present it would be. Like if my kids would be like, "Hey, we want to go hiking with you. Take us on a hike, Mom." That would be the greatest gift because they were giving me their time and their talent. They did until they turned 18, had to twice a year on my birthday, since I don't really need physical stuff, and on New Year's Day, and oh, actually 3 times a year, and Mother's Day. They had to go hiking for 1 mile on those 3 days. I always picked a flat trail that had something pretty to look at, a waterfall or a lake or something. Now that they're adults, they don't have to go. But they should want to go. And if they did, it would be fabulous because that is the greatest gift. The memories that you make when people like, when I look over events that I've been at, even like recent events like the Pocono workshop, which is the piping thing I went to, it was the memories that I made with the people that I met. The teachers and the other students, those are the things, in addition to all the piping things that I learned, but those friendships and those great stories that you have, like time is the thing that you can't make more of, so you have to make the most of it. And so giving people your time or receiving time, recognizing that people who are super busy, who make room for you in their lives, like that is the greatest gift that anybody can give you, right? And that can just be a phone call or an email or a text saying, "Hey, how are you? Thinking of you, hoping you're doing well." And it doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to cost a thing. Talent is, something altogether. There's, in the piping world, we often play out, which is, you get paid to play for weddings and stuff like that. And because I don't play for, back when I was young, my brother and I had a little business and we played together, and we would do funerals together and weddings together, and people thought it was cute, this brother and sister, who are like dramatically different. I'm a tree hugger. My brother's like chopping down the tree to make a canoe. Like we were so different. But people thought it was cute, and we worked with a funeral home that our family knew, and we would charge. Again, we were kids, we needed the money, like that was our like part-time gig. At my age and where I am in life, I don't necessarily need to make money from piping. It's nice. I put that in my I'm trying to get a new stand of pipes, so I put all the money I make from different things in a little thing, and I'm saving up to buy really nice pipes one day when I get there. And but so I have this strict policy that I do not charge for veteran events or events for funerals for EMTs or Red Cross people. And that's because they give so much of themselves in sacrifice to us, whether they, died in the line of service or not. They sacrificed a good part of their lives for the betterment of the community. So, that is a gift, in honoring and recognizing their service. So it makes me pretty popular. I also am an ordained minister, because hikers like to get married once they get halfway through the trail and end up at my house. So I got ordained online so that I could marry a couple that had come through. And so I also do not charge for those services because I don't need to, I guess, but I also just think, like it's a celebration of love, and it's an honor to be part of their day, and they're going to have more expenses, and if I can save them that little piece, then that's great. I'd like to see people be happy. So, talent, whatever your talent is, find ways where you can share that talent and not expect something in return. I never expect anything in return for those sorts of events, or if they're, weddings or veteran or emergency medical personnel services. So if you have a talent and you can share it without counting the cost, sometimes that's not possible, but if you can, then do that. You bringing light to people in joyful times, or a lot of times I'm playing for those events and piping. Those are sad moments because it's people who have passed, or it's a memorial for 9/11 or whatever. It piping specifically is very soulful, right? So people either like or hate pipes, just like they like or hate opera or like or hate ballet. But if you like pipes, something calls to you calls from your soul when you hear them. So being able to share that gift is pretty tremendous if you have the ability. I can sing kind of. The rest of my family, they're all amazing singers. I'm an alto, which is female altos aren't uncommon anymore, but back when I was singing, they were kind of uncommon. So I like to sing, but I'd rather play pipes. Um, and, if you have a gift, my sister-in-law is amazing at arts and crafts. Like, she is a goddess. I'm scared of the glue gun. Like, I'm scared I can't even draw stick figures that look anything like more than a kindergartner could do. I just never, I appreciate art. I love art museums. I go to a lot of events that involve art, but myself, I am not an artist. I'm a writer. I've always been a writer. I'm getting into more creative writing now, but most of my writing has been academic because I am an academic. So like I don't write poetry, but I absolutely appreciate poetry. I see a lot of poetry in music, whether it has lyrics or not. I'm very drawn to lyrics in songs that have them, but even in pipe tunes that don't have lyrics, a lot of pipe tunes are popular songs from back in the day, right? But even tunes that don't have lyrics, I see poetry in those pieces. So if you have the ability to, write or sing or do whatever, like those are amazing gifts. If you are good at arts and crafts, like my sister-in-law, and can whip something out of your head in like 30 seconds, like that is a gift that is, at least to me, when I receive those gifts, I find them so powerful. And when my children were little, I always told them, like, please don't buy me things, make me something, write a play, make me a comic book, whatever, make me a necklace out of noodles, whatever, because it came from your heart, and you had to think about who I was in order to make that thing for me. So I find those gifts. And then treasure. We often think about treasure in terms of money. We often think about it that way. I don't know anybody who has money to just like whip around. Well, I'm sure there are people. I'm not one of them. But if you have the ability to help, like we have a Palmerton Cat Project here in Palmerton that rescues cats, and they don't have a facility, right? It's all volunteers, right? And so every year on my birthday, I do a Facebook fundraising thing for them. There are a million agencies that could use your help and support. And even if you don't have the money to donate to them, you can run a fundraiser through Facebook to raise money and awareness for issues and causes that are important to you. There are a few things that I absolutely support all the time. I absolutely support Nazareth House, which is the missions group that I still run with in spirit. I absolutely support, I support two Indigenous American schools out in the Midwest because I feel like education is important and those schools really need our money. Those kids really need our money. I support our local Palmerton Cat Project, the Red Cross, a local mission for men who are recovering, and a whole host of veteran associations that do work with veterans, returning veterans and PTSD folks. So there's lots you can do if you have the ability to help. If you don't have the ability to give money, that's okay. Run a fundraiser, run an awareness campaign, help in some other way so that other people who do have the funds can help donate. Treasure means like a spirit of treasure helping people make it day to day. I grew up very poor and we didn't have anything. And by the generosity of others, I was able to go to college. I was able to get internships in with Congress and Senate. And that was all because people shared their treasure with me and with my parents. So I believe in paying it forward. And if you have the ability in whatever capacity, pay it forward. It doesn't always have to be your cash. It can just be your advocacy, your voice, lending your passion to some project. So, time, talent, and treasure, 3 amazing gifts. And as we think about Advent and being the light of the world, whether you're Christian or not, just being part of the light to get rid of all of the darkness that's out there. We've had a string of horrible things happen in our communities, and we just can't let the darkness win. We have to bring the light. Be it, bring it, hold on to it, even in the wind, even in storms and rains. It's just like when we hike. You have to hold on to your gear, hold on to it for dear life, hunker down, do what you have to do, but don't turn out your light. Don't hide your light. Share your light. It's the greatest gift that you have to give. Wishing you all the best in light and love. See you later. Bye-bye.